but they didn't get views.
See,
And they were really, really good videos. People are like, shit. People ask me, and I'm like, you know what? I mean, I was paying so much money to film these because it takes money to get 3 cameras to come and do it really well. If you see, you're gonna be like, wow, these are really well made. And at the end, I tried everything. I was like, you know what?
I would lower. Here's what I would do. Well, I would imagine, like any entrepreneur, that the number one thing that would now help your business grow is to find better ways to reach more people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
It's all about that.
Yeah. You know, we're in a different world where gaining attention online is actually more and more difficult. And as you experienced, you know, if I'm looking at like just, you know, I'm going to do this, breaking down, you know.
Yeah, do it. I want to hear what you have to say, man.
Well, some of your more recent uploads have, you know, 1.4K views, 1K view, 1K, 2K. So it's not bad. Like that's, you know, it's still, there's still people paying attention. And I'm sure it's still driving some leads and people kind of discovering you. But obviously, if I'm looking at some of your popular uploads, 18 million views, 17 million views, 3.4 million views, 3.1 million views. I mean, it's nowhere near where it was, let's say. I think that there's, okay, let's break this down.
Let's break it down.
Okay. There's 4 types of content that you can create online. Hero, Hub, Help, Headline. Okay? Hero, Hub, Help, Headline. Hero is this. I come here, I watch a video, or I'm on a landing page about your knife course or whatever it is. Yeah. It's a video that's scripted. It explains to me why I'm going to do what I'm doing, why I should trust you, what it means, how the program works, any social proof that you have, and what I do next, right now, right? That's a hero video. Hub is exactly what we're also doing right now. Full-length podcast, people paying attention. They already have to know me, or they have to know you to really care to listen to this whole thing.
Good point.
But they might be interested in shorter format clips about things that are either helpful or related to headlines. Okay. So lately, for example, in the world of fighting, and I know that self-defense and fighting are 2 different worlds, but they're still related in people's minds that are everyday people. At least put it this way. They're related to my mind in some way, shape, or form. Logan Paul fights Floyd Mayweather. Where's the video that talks to me about, on your channel, how Logan Paul survived the fight against Floyd Mayweather? That video is a headline. It's a wave in the ocean. Yes. It's a wave in the ocean that if you made a video about how Logan Paul survived against Floyd Mayweather, you put a good thumbnail on there and you title it properly and you come out with that video immediately.
You know, didn't really give a shit about the fight.
Well, okay.
But I know what you mean, because somebody else had told me that. So there was the McGregor thing. I had talked about it.
Yes.
This was like years ago.
Sure.
But you know, I'll be honest with you, right? What happened with my YouTube channel, like after like I kind of got shadow banned.
Yeah.
I got so demotivated, and I just started, because I was spending thousands of dollars in doing fight analysis, and when you're making $2,000 to $4,000 and you're getting like millions of views, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Then when it went down, I was like, you know what? I didn't care to put any more time in it. So now, and I'm honest, I make a live, and I don't put the effort.
I hear you.
Because part of me feels like even if I put all the effort, and I did at one point when it was dipping, that's when I hired the camera crew and I made probably my best content.
Yeah.
I feel like because they shadow banned me, and I know that my channel didn't make sense what they were doing. It's kind of like you building a store in, I don't know, next to a highway, knowing that nobody's ever going to see it. So you build the nicest, coolest place. So that's how I felt. So part of it is I got demotivated. I was like, fuck it. And at the end, I created my program. I was like, you know what? I have enough free content. If people want, they're going to go check out my content that I am spending money.
Yes, well, your paid content is different things. But your paid content is going to grow if your free content grows too.
Yes.
100%. If I give you more attention, the likelihood that you sell more courses online is going to grow.
Absolutely.
So I agree with you that you cannot bank any longer on the fact that Google, Instagram, Facebook, any of these things are going to be there and the audience is always going to be there. But my advice is that if you put a little bit more time thinking about headline content and help content, and you made better thumbnails.
Help content? What do you mean?
So help content is, I'm in a situation. How do I deal with this situation?
Okay. Like what I used to do, like the teaching.
Yes. Or show me a popular fight video that's like there's all kinds of fight videos online.
You know what happens? I did like Cobra Kai. Did you see my Cobra Kai series?
I did not see your Cobra Kai.
So I did a Cobra Kai series.
Okay.
Those are pretty good, actually.
Sure.
Again, those I paid for because Cobra Kai was having. So I made it How to Fight Like Cobra Kai. If you see them, they're pretty good. So I took the actual Cobra Kai scenes, and then I broke them down. And I used to do this thing called Movie Night, Fight Night.
Yeah.
You probably haven't seen. It has to have 1,000 videos, right?
You have thousands of videos.
So I took videos. So I did 12 episodes. I took fights from Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal, like fight movies, and then I broke them down and I said if they talked, but they didn't get views.
See,
and they were really, really good videos. People are like shit. People ask me, and I'm like, you know what? I mean, I was paying so much money to film these because it takes money to get 3 cameras to come and do it really well. If you see, you're gonna be like, wow, these are really well made. And at the end, I tried everything. I was like, you know what?
I would here's what I would do. I would spend less on production by doing a multi-camera setup kind of like this, where at the end of the day, Kyler's behind the scenes here and he's switching, and as we're talking, it's being edited. Yeah. So you do it as if you're running a live. Like you're not taking takes and doing things. You can do intros pre-recorded and then just kind of bolt them on at the end or do whatever. But you film it as if you're filming a live training. Yeah. Okay, so somebody on the other end, it's like a Zoom call. You just keep talking. You blundered on a word, just keep talking, just keep going. But by picking your topics ahead of time, knowing when the wave is coming in the Game of Fight world, or in the world of like, here's a Batman scene that just of the newest Batman movie that came out. The newest James Bond just came out.
That's why I did the Cobra Kai series. But I mean, I actually enjoyed doing that scene because I really liked the show. Yeah. But I think part of it too, and it's also again, I think it's the discouragement part of it, and thinking, okay, is it gonna make a difference? Because if you could see some of the older videos, like from a couple of months ago, I did that, and I was like, I feel like no matter what I'm trying,
but I think if you're doing it on multi-platform, it's gonna work. Like if you're not just saying, okay, I'm uploading this for YouTube, you're saying, look, I'm going to spend X amount of dollars making this video. I'm going to think about the thumbnail. I'm going to think about the headline. I'm going to think about the way that I'm going to design it. Because like, when I look at these thumbnails,
like my thumbnails are shit. That I totally agree. But that's it.
Your newest thumbnails are decent because they're in action. Yeah. But they're not making me like the ones of some of your knife defense videos or your popular videos or whatever it is. The little arrow that points, the 5 top, like some of these thumbnails are actually pretty interesting, and they're speaking to me in a different way. Now, some of this is dated. Like this is old school thumbnails. Okay, so let's go quickly. Right, if I just go to explore, and now I'm going to look at what's trending on YouTube. You tell me which one of these thumbnails wasn't thought out. Which one of them is just an accident, that a viral video that just went viral. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could. Yeah,
and the answer is that every one of these thumbnails is kind of thought out. Now, some of them are just because these people are freaking massive, right? Now, it's not the greatest freaking, thumbnail in certain cases, but some of them are meant to provoke the before and after. Yeah. I have a whole video on thumbnails I'm going to send you.
Okay? Oh, that I agree. And I had my friend, because he runs Anabolic Aliens. I don't know if you know him.
I don't know.
He has like almost 1 million followers on YouTube. He's coming here in August, and we've collaborated. We've made videos together. We became really good friends.
Cool. When he comes, I'd love to.
Oh, for sure. I'll have him come.
Maybe a podcast guest.
Yeah, he's awesome. Super cool. Young guy too. 23, 24. He has his app called Exerprise. Nice. And he told me he's like, bro, you need to fix your thumbnails, man. Your thumbnails. He's like the YouTube king, right? I mean, when I met him, because I used to have a manager, we had the same manager from LA. Mm-hmm. I was like at 300,000. He was at 150. Yeah. And then we collabed. We made some videos, some training videos. I did some self-defense videos, and now he's almost at 1 million. But he's like,
well, yes. So it's consistency in posting, consistency of brand, consistency of niche. Yeah. But you have the niche. Yeah. You have the consistency of branding. You already have an existing audience. And if you can break a little bit, like if you can get a video above 10K views, it will go to 100.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. I have a couple past ones with the girls. Like,
sure.
It's crazy. Huh?
But it's all about the topic. So you just need a mix between help and headline and good thumbnails that are thought out in that category.
Help, headlines, and thumb. You know what? I'm gonna think of like what I'll do maybe when the new Cobra Kai series comes out, because I think it's coming out too. Like shortly. I did How to Fight Like John Wick. Did you see that? You haven't seen that?
I didn't. I saw. I think I saw it. I didn't watch the actual video. I mean, I watched a couple here and there, but
that's pretty good because I love John Wick, right? Yeah. So I broke down his fight scenes, his knife scenes, and all that.
But that's perfect.
And then, but I think one of them did good, like 40, 50,000 views. I can't remember. But it's weird, right? It's a hit or miss. Like it's funny because sometimes I've spent money to do good content and it doesn't hit.
Yeah.
And other times I'll do a video with my phone and for some reason.
It is what I get that. I mean,
you know what's the fucked up thing? And like I have like she's my friend. Her name is Candice, and I've done some self-defense videos with her. And just, I mean, every time I make a self-defense video with her, suddenly it blows up because everybody wants to see her like defend herself. You know what I mean? But I don't like doing that. You know what I mean? So I don't use her for that. I'm like, Candice, can you do some video? She's like, yeah, sure. And then like all you hear is stupid comments like nonstop.
100%. But here's what I'd say. On Instagram, it's all about the reels. I think TikToks are relevant to you too. I'm not gonna lie. And then YouTube is king.
Yeah, YouTube is king. That's what I've noticed too. Like I have 50,000 followers on TikTok, and I don't even really use it because at the end, like I told you before, I have a friend of mine. He's got 1 million on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I told him, I'm like, Yost, how many are you converting? He's like, so you're creating content, and it takes time to create content, and you want to. I like doing it, but at the end, you got to pick and choose. Like, I mean, sometimes it's so hard to manage all these platforms. So right now, I'm focusing on YouTube and Instagram. Those are the two pretty much.
Yeah. Which is the better, you know, it's a good move. But if you're going to make reels for Instagram, then you might as well post them on TikTok.
I don't even know what reels are. I'm going to laugh.
I believe it. The reels is where the algorithms
You know what it is? Shit goes so fast. Right. And like, it's hard for me. I'm fucking 45, right? And it's not an age thing, but like you constantly have to keep up. And
But play to your strength.
Yeah.
Self-defense, right? Play to your strength. Yeah. If you realize this person is bigger and fitter than you are and they're attacking you, what's your strength? What's the strength is your element of surprise. The strength is whatever other situational, like it's, you would teach me this in the physical. I'm going to teach you this in the digital, right? At the end of the day, you know, there are certain trends and there are people who know those trends. Yeah. Put it this way. Now you know me. So every once in a while you send me a message. What's trending? What's happening on YouTube? You know what I mean? What's going on? What should I be considering? And I'll tell you, well, the new Batman movie or the new James Bond movie is going to come out. When it comes out, go see it and make a video immediately after.
Yeah, I mean, I like those. Those are fun. I actually enjoy doing them.
That's it. And all you need to do is pick a day of the week where, like, you're guaranteed. Like, Kyler comes every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we're going to create content. So whether I have a guest or whether I'm doing a solo cast, it doesn't matter. Every Wednesday, I'm creating content. So I'm ready for it. And then I just think about, you know, I'll look at what's trending or what's going on. If I did my job really well today, I could have brought forward an idea, or I could have, like, reviewed something online that was trending in the world of self-defense, in the world of fighting, in the world of whatever. And then I can ask you, like, okay, what do you think about Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather? And boom, that's a thumbnail. Like, I know that I can, after this thing, we're going to talk about which clips, what are the best parts, what are we going to break it down, and we're going to think about thumbnails, titles, all those kinds of things. Yeah. And I'm not a fucking idiot. I can ask you a question like, what do you think about Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather? And that's a clip that will do well. It sounds silly. You might not have that much to say about it, and that's why I might not do well or whatever. But what I mean by that is, if I took the time and if I preset it up with you, and you know I'm going to ask you the question, then that also works. Yeah. And so just knowing where the waves are, and some of them are. What's beautiful about the fight world is they're predictable.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, I mean, I know some of the other guys, they do that. They'll take the fight and they'll break it down. I mean, I think some of it, like, again, I think some of it when I look comes down to the YouTube, it's just that I'm aware I've lost that motivation because after like seeing like all my subscribers just dip and seeing, I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
But I post more on Instagram now because I'm getting more engagement on Instagram.
You're right.
I'm getting more engagement. I'm getting more people, more feedback.
Well, the feedback loop is there. That's giving you
more views, more of this. So I'm putting more energy on Instagram than I am putting on YouTube. And again, the YouTube, I just whenever I have time, whenever I feel like it. But you know, like
here's the truth. You told me you want to go to Greece in 10 years. I think you can go in 5 if you fucking double down over the next 12 months.
On the YouTube.
On YouTube and Instagram, if you double down on making content and you do a lot of headline and help content, you're there in 5 years. You could be there in 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, you're telling me in 10 years you're going to be there, so you're going to be 55 at the time or whatever. I think you can be there at 50.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm telling you. I think, like, put it this way. You have the ingredients of the right niche, and you've got enough of a base that everything you put out is getting just enough views that if you can crack a little bit higher, you're going to hit the Explorer, you're going to hit the thing.
That's all I need. I know that I want to hit, like, I'd be happy to have every video hit, like, 10,000 views at least.
Yes.
But the fact that I put links going to my website, going outbound, does that change anything? Because I heard it does. Because like me personally, I don't care about the YouTube money.
Yeah.
I make more money off my membership and my program. So my goal when they watch a video is to go.
No, I don't think it really changes anything. It's click-through rate and watch time.
Really, that's what it is.
That's what it boils down to.
Okay.
So if I show you the thumbnail and they click it, that's great. And then how YouTube validates whether or not it was good content or not is based on their attention. So if I clicked it and then 10 seconds later I left, it's that your thumbnail was good, but it was clickbait, and then I left, or you're uninteresting.
So that's how it goes.
Click-through rate and watch time.
Okay. And the watch time, I heard it's only considered like a watched video after like
10 seconds on YouTube, 3 seconds on Facebook or Instagram.
Only after 10 seconds?
10 seconds on YouTube, 3 seconds on Facebook or Instagram.
Fuck, our attention span is like this big now.
Well, and they're giving you the positive feedback loop. Oh, somebody watched your video. After 10 seconds, it's like, I don't consider somebody watching my content for 10 seconds of view. What I know is that if you got decent click-through rate and a decent watch time, you're going to get a lot of attention.
Wow.
And then you got to spice it up, right? So if you're making a video about Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather, you don't want to start with like, hi guys, my name is Nick, whatever. That's not where you want to start. You want to start with like, I can't fucking believe Logan Paul freaking survived. Yeah. I'm going to break it down in this video for the 3 reasons why he did that. Boom, boom. Oh. Then your brand, right? So in the first 10, 30 seconds, whatever it is, you gave me a hook, you gave me the brand, and what you told me is that what you clicked on and the thumbnail you saw and the title you saw was consistent with what you're going to see in this video.
Makes sense.
That's it.
I did that on one video, and where I was like, I wanted to start right with like the best part, and then break it down.
Yes.
And I can't remember which video it was, and I was like, fuck, that works.
It 100%.
Where it's like, I'll take the best part. As soon as you turn on, it's like, boom, 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 you see the fighting.
Yeah.
And then it's, I guess I gotta just, it's one of those things I'm like, fuck, I've been doing it for almost 10 years.
I hear you. Again, 10 years.
But it helped me build my business,
5
right?
years in Greece.
It was actually the biggest catalyst of my business was YouTube. It's what put me on the map, because even though I don't have a lot of views like now,
it's not bad.
I still have close to, I think, 80 or 90 million views, and it helped me. I got my police contract through a collaboration I did in LA with another self-defense guy.
Yeah.
And
his YouTube video
we did a knife defense video, because he doesn't do knife. He goes, can we do a knife defense video? That video got 2.5 million views. It's one of his best videos.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I haven't had a video like that in so long, but his channel got it.
But it's worth it.
But it was worth it for me. Absolutely.
So who are the influencers? Find them, the TikTokers, the Instagrammers, the whatever YouTubers that are talking about these things, and you break it down.
Sometimes
or you do reactions. Let's say one of these guy does self-defense videos, and you see a video and you're like, actually, I disagree. You make a reaction video to his self-defense video and say, here's what I would do different.
Yeah. You know what? A lot of that is just...
You're gonna tell me you're too old for it.
No. There's a part of me that's kind of like, you know what? Like, I see sometimes a TikTok thing. I see it, and I'm like, is it something for me? Am I there? Am I there now? I mean,
I don't know that you're at the TikTok thing, but I think you're on the YouTube.
The YouTube. Yeah, I've been. So here was my theory on YouTube. I wanted to ask you what you think. I had this. Like, I haven't posted anything in a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Sure.
My goal was to post nothing for 6 months.
Okay.
And then in 6 months, boom, like come back.
Yeah,
strong with something different.
I agree that if you did 90 days really powerfully, like proper planning, thumbnails, titling, research around tags, like whatever it is.
So don't post anything for like 90 days.
Well, I'm not saying don't post anything. Like if you have a capacity to just do small, little things for the meantime, that's fine. But if you were to like build a run and really just take the time to invest in it for you take 30 days to create a bunch of content or plan out a bunch of content, and then you just start getting in the cycle of going through it, and then you get real consistent with it, I think you can blow up at any moment.
And what if I'm shadow banned? Would that change anything or no?
I mean,
because there's definitely something wrong with my channel.
It's possible that you're shadow banned. It's possible that those different things are that your channel has gotten striked based on certain things. I would say that the likelihood that you're shadow banned is due to anything to do with guns. It's probably a gun conversation.
Yeah, I have a couple.
Great. I would remove anything with the word gun in the equation and remove those off the channels, and then I think you would be fine.
That's what's crazy, right? You build a business, and that's what I told somebody else. Like, YouTube, you don't own YouTube. You don't own anything. You own a bunch of numbers.
Yep.
You're borrowing their space in exchange for content.
You're a billboard on the side of the highway, but every once in a while they can replace your billboard.
Yeah, so I tell people that, like, don't get attached to it. Build something on the side too, because just like that, they can take you down.
Yeah, and you're at the point of maturity in your business where, like, look, you've got enough clients who've figured you met you, who then create a halo effect where one client trains with you, then they bring in the next client, and so on and so forth. So you've got the momentum. Like, if you do nothing more. On social media, other than like appear from time to time just to be top of mind.
That's a little bit what I'm doing right now. For right now,
you're coasting. You're coasting. You're making content. It's good. It's solid. It's got X amount of views on YouTube.
I'm not overthinking it. I'm not like,
which is great. You're in the coasting phase. You had to do a lot of pivots with the online stuff. Great, but now you're at a point where it's like, okay, that online stuff is there, and I know as an entrepreneur that if you could find more reach, like I just know that you could do it.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to be in your position, put it that way. My biggest dream is to grow my YouTube. And so I know that this podcast and the way that I'm making content right now is going to blow up at some point. And it already has in some categories. Like, I did well on Facebook, but now Facebook's reach is just to the floor. So then I started pivoting to Instagram, and now Instagram is kind of getting, the carpet is being pulled under. And YouTube, that might be the same case too. But the point is that in all of it, I'm getting better and better at storytelling. And I'm getting better and better at identifying my niche. And I'm getting better and better at, like, hey, I'm going to have a guest on. I'm going to look at their brand and just break it down in front of them.
Yeah. You see, like, our men's talk show, Have the Balls to Talk About It.
Yeah.
We started that channel 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're at 3,300 subscribers.
Okay.
We've monetized the channel. Like, it's starting to pick up. And I remember I was telling Andrew, I'm like, Andrew, trust me, it takes a little bit of time.
It does.
For it to kick in the algorithm. When it does, it took like 2 years to go from 0
to 3,000
to 2,000. And it took like 6 months to go from 2 to 3.5. And now it's just...
Yeah. The hardest thing is to crack the first 10K.
It takes one video to take off. And now we have one like...
Yep.
What's better, Viagra or Cialis? That has like 40,000 views because everybody wants to know this shit. And it's like skyrocketing.
But you see how that's a classic health video? Yeah. I went and checked out that channel. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna bring it up. I went and checked out the Instagram.
The Instagram is not strong.
No, sorry. Yeah, the Instagram wasn't that great. It was the YouTube that I thought was really good. So I went and checked this out, and then I looked like, I pay attention, right? So I'm looking here, and then I see, okay, popular uploads. How does Viagra or Cialis work? Yeah. It's got 35K views 2 years ago. And again, the thumbnail is interesting. The title is there. I mean...
So you also have to know that this right now is a much bigger production, meaning they do everything for us, right?
Okay, but how much are you spending on this production? Like, you can tell me that, or you could write the number down if you don't want to say it.
It's in the thousands.
Per episode.
Great. Because it's, 3 cameras, it's this, it's that, plus, I mean, it's a lot of work, right?
Yep.
And but it's at the end, it's worth it because I believe we're creating a really good show, something that's long-term, something that's...
So I'm just going to press play.
Yeah.
Real fast on one of your most popular videos here.
Oh, have you ever seen one of them?
I have not. I actually never press play.
It always starts with a comedy.
I like it. Right, you got a nice little hook. So you've got this, but that's not what you're paying the thousands for. You're paying the thousands because you have a multiple camera.
Yeah, we have 3 cameras.
I think there's some cholesterol and blood pressure medications, which are...
Okay, great. So you're paying thousands of dollars to do essentially a video switch between a wide, one on you, and one on him, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're paying thousands of dollars for.
Yeah. But like, I mean, they do the editing, the production stuff. Like,
Right.
so.
Well, hey, Kyler over here behind the scenes. We have a 3-camera setup here. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, and actually camera 4. It could have been a 4th camera, but I just choose to make it a screen share and bring the audio through the soundboard, do the whole thing. I'm paying for sure 1/10 or maybe 20% of the price you're paying. Yeah. And it's edited. The second he presses end, the full clip is edited. Yeah. Now, I want to add some little fancy jokes at the front. I want to add a little bumper, a little thing, which he does. Yeah. Okay, he'll do. The price that is costing to do that is all on the fact that I have the right equipment and the right setup. Yeah. And I've got a studio that is constant. You flick the light on, you flick it off. The lights are here permanently.
I think for us too, like, I mean, I look at for me and Andrew, it's more the time.
But that's back to the time.
We don't have, like we were talking about setting up a podcast. Like, I mean, we don't have the time. Like,
but if
he's
you
so
set
busy.
up this setup, you actually just, it couldn't be easier for me to set up. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, that like I said, I'm open to that. You know, guys coming and setting us. Like I said, we thought about renting a space, right?
Yes.
But for sure, we want to create the podcast. That's what we want to do in the future. And for sure, it's more like just, I mean, me and Andrew are talking like, okay, who's gonna set it up? Who's gonna put it all together? Shit, I don't have time. You don't have time.
I guarantee you that if you took the time to set this up, it's not that much money.
It's not even the money. It's more the time and knowing like how to put all this stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure I can't. Like, I mean, I could probably figure it out, but
sure.
I don't have the time to sit there and figure out what.
No, I mean, I built an entire online course, and this is a plug, by the way, for those of you who are watching. I built an entire online course. It's totally free that I literally explain why. Number one, what's your show about? And I talk about the mindset behind the show and like thinking about what's unique about your show and how you're going to make an interesting show. The second piece is the setup. The third is then, okay, how do you actually hit record and what do you do? And then the fourth is just publishing. Like, what are the best practices to publish? And I teach that for free because at the end of the day, I know it's worth more to me to teach things for free than it is to try and monetize everything I do.
Yeah.
That's me. But the idea of the setup is not that complicated. Yeah. You just need to think it out, or you just need to pay somebody to fucking do it.
Yeah. That's why
I'll
be paying one of you guys to come set it up.
Sure. But the amount of money that it takes to... The amount of money you're spending on a couple of episodes compared to just setting it up properly and actually just like building the system real easy. And like at the end of the day, like Kyler's here, but I could be switching on my own. Yeah. Now, the reason I want him here is because he's also processing the footage. Meaning if he's going to process the footage, he's going to have to watch it again later. He might as well be here, be a part of the conversation. He's been quiet this whole time, but be a part of the conversation or bring in a little element, and then also understand the process by which I am thinking about the content, the thumbnails, the titles, right? And I know that the world is headed in this direction. I know that having a live stream, like you talk about Zoom, right? Yeah. And you're showing, you have a nice camera studio, but probably doing it with one camera angle.
Yeah.
Right? Great.
Like when I'm training clients?
When you train clients.
Yeah, just one camera.
Yeah, great.
Very simple.
So I can do a Zoom with all 3 of these or 4 of these cameras. Yeah. By just plugging in one thing and using Cinemaker is the name of the software that we're using, right? By using Cinemaker, I can use one single app to make a multi-studio experience.
Shit, I don't know that stuff, man.
Right? And I can make this entire show, we didn't record it live, but I could have been live on multiple platforms. All at the exact same time. So I could have been live on Twitch, on Facebook groups, on YouTube, on whatever platform. We could have went live on every single thing, and I could have aggregated all the live comments into a single app through Restream. So that's essentially becoming a multi-streamer. So I'm using Cinemaker to go through Restream, and I can be live at any one moment. Wow. So now you want to talk about headlines. Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather. I'm watching it live.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, that was a good defense there. What he did, he went like this, he went like that. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's the fastest way to make really good content and take advantage of headlines is to make easy content
good point.
with multiple angles immediately set up.
Yeah.
So if you spend a little bit more time in the planning and the setup, aka you train a little bit, then you're going to be better in the live situation, right?
All right, good point.
Self-defense 101.
I just get overwhelmed when I'm like, shit, I got to learn something else new.
I just came in with the jabs and the right hooks real fast. But look, I think this is where the world is going.
Yeah, I believe so too. This is going to be for sure. It's going to be the future.
And lowering production time and costs is going to be a huge game.
Yeah, for sure.
Huge game. And then contextualizing the content, meaning, a lot of what Kyler is doing and his genius is that not only are we making YouTube videos, but we're taking some of those videos and making them into Reels. We're taking some of those videos and making them into IGTVs.
Who does it? Kyle does that?
Kyler does everything, but it's a balance.
It's time consuming still, right?
I mean, it is 100%. Like what he does is fucking phenomenal. And speak to it, Kyler. Like it's time consuming.
I'm fucking amazing. Thank you.
You are. No, you're here. Yeah. I wouldn't work with you if you weren't fucking amazing. So period. But at the end of the day, it's time consuming, but half the work is in the setup.
Yeah. And then it's
like, and I say setup, meaning like literally the physical setup, but also planning the content, so when him and I do a solo cast, I'm telling him, okay, segment 1, segment 2, segment 3. And I don't always know the title ahead of time, but for the most part, I'm trying to title it, trying to think about a thumbnail or some different ideas. Now, he's doing a lot of the creative in the thumbnail department right now. I give him assets like photos and things that he can use. And he has, I've made like a bunch of, with a designer, we made like a bunch of template thumbnails. Okay. So you can just, so it's all about.
Yeah, I think it's probably that I'm missing it, that structure of being able to like bang out shit like much quicker.
And just, if you don't have the time to set it up, pay somebody to set it up.
Yeah. Honestly, that structure, it was a game changer. When I came to work with Marc, like bringing in structure made me more creative. Because then instead of creating one piece of art once a day, I created 10, 15, more. So creating that structure, that planning, like totally streamlined our process. It was amazing.
Yeah, and we're like still like, so Kyler and I have only been working together for maybe 2 months, something like that, okay, in terms of timeline. But as we get better and better and better, it's like the production value, everything that we're doing is just
get better, faster, and
that's the point. Yeah. And I was doing it. I taught my brother, who knew nothing about video editing. He was editing my entire podcast and everything around it. He went from literally never editing video ever, or maybe like a video in his life, to fully producing my podcast at a very reasonable time for like from record to him pumping out everything. It's super reasonable and very affordable.
Yeah, I think.
Now, it's very affordable for me in a different way because I have the equipment, I run the studio, I do everything, and I'm so goddamn on point that Kyler doesn't have to show up and bring strategy to me. In fact, though, his ideas of what the better clips are, how the thumbnail should look, or some things, and the ideas of what I should even talk about are better through him than they are through me.
I guess because he sees it from outside.
That's the point. That's it. He has better questions for me than I have for me because my questions are too advanced for the average person who's watching a YouTube video, if that makes sense. Like I'm thinking about things at a level of geekery that maybe applies to a very small niche of people, whereas if I thought a little bit wider, it would work better, And so, and it's just, and I monetize in untraditional ways. Like I don't care to have a bunch of sponsors on the podcast, or it's not about how many views I get on the podcast, because at the end of the day, I have a conversation with one person, and that one person leads to the next person, the next person,
absolutely,
and that's worth it to me.
Yeah.
And I know that if I have one pop on YouTube,
it just takes one.
That's it. And I'm just willing to wait. I'm willing to play. I'm willing to swing. And here's the thing: I have fucking fun. This is fun. This is like really fucking fun. I love to meet people.
At the end, that's what I tell people. You got to have fun doing it. You know what I mean? If you don't have fun, like I have fun doing my men's talk show. Yeah, I enjoy meeting, having the guests, talking about men's issues and topics. I really enjoy that show, right? So that's why I'm also putting a little bit more energy and focus on that. I'm also like, so many places where I'm like, I got to pick and choose. Mm-hmm. Now I got to the point where I got to pick and choose, okay, where do I want to go? What do I want to put my energy? And sometimes I rotate. I'll be like, okay, my energy's going to go here. I'm going to put this aside. Next couple of months, I'm going to work on this. And I kind of like shift because I'm all over the place at the same time. But I love everything that I've created. Now it's just finding how do I juggle it and try to keep it as balanced as possible.
I hear you. Yeah, I the way I see it is I create content. I run all my content in a single day a week.
Like once a week, boom, you film
everything. Once a week, I film everything. That's it. And I make a lot of fucking content. Now, like here and there, I when I train outside or I'm doing whatever, I'm making little stories while I'm training. That's different. But that's hub content, and that's just situational I'm wakeboarding, or I'm this, or I'm that, or I'm training outside. I flipped a kettlebell or did whatever. That's easy. And even then, I think about the story and I put time and energy into it, like I did this morning. But that's all generally 1 day a week. Like it's not that much time. And I do this professionally. Like this is what I do for a living. The other stuff I do is to run a farm, but that's another story for another day. But so long story short is that it doesn't have to take that much. And I think you're sitting on a gold mine. Like your niche is so much more relevant and so much more like you're set up for it in a way that people would dream of. And hopefully you'll be dreaming of it and living off the winnings and the gold of that in the islands of Greece.
You know what? I'm going to take that little break because I was planning to take a break.
Yeah.
6 months I said, or 3 months, whatever it was. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to think of a new strategy, a new series, something new.
Yep.
New thumbnail, new everything. Just redo the content from scratch. Just
habit help.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to do that. Watch. I'm going to do it, and then we'll be back in like 6 months, and we'll see. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. Yeah. I'm like, yes.
No, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to show it to you.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it, man.
I'm going to think of something.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time. If there's anything you want to say, any last words, anything.
Thank you so much for having me on, guys. It was fun. I learned a lot of stuff. And hopefully we'll be working together because definitely want to have you guys come up and set up a few things for me and Andrew for our show. So
and number two is I'm going to come do some self-defense courses.
Absolutely. Whenever you guys are ready. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for that.